This is a holiday special. I got the homies SETI, General SETI from Detroit. We're gonna break down, certain aspects and things you see in Christmas.
And so Christmas is a combination of not just these two holidays, but a couple of more holidays. Feast of Fools was celebrated in North France and Britain during the New Year and is still celebrated today in Philadelphia, continuing on their British lineage. They dress up in masks and costumes very similar to Halloween. They even have popes, they even have priests.
It's called the Feast of Fools. That's today's language. The Feast of Fools. Feast of Fools.
They had clergy of the church dressing up, cross-dressing and shit. They had the band and shit. So many of they damn priests and shit, you couldn't tell the church from the goddamn fool, because the fools is the damn church. Okay? This is showing you the holidays prior to what you know of it today.
Critical, political, analytical.
He is not mentioned by any contemporary chroniclers. So this myth that St. Nicholas was giving children gifts during, his birthday and all of this shit or the holidays was a myth, you understand, created to make it seem like Santa and St. Nicholas, SINTERKLAAS and Father Christmas came from St. Nicholas, which is untrue. SINTERKLAAS, Father Christmas, Santa Claus come from Odin, come from Thor, come from Saturn, okay? So let's get that shit correct. And then even St. Nicholas is said to have resurrected 3 little boys that were supposedly murdered and mutilated, okay?
Resurrected.
Now that right there.
Resurrected Santa Claus. I wonder, look, they put that with Jesus. He resurrected, right? That cannot be true. Because the way how they said he died on the 4th, or died on the 3rd, and resurrected on the 4th one of that shit, nigga, please. How you gonna die at the next day? You just pop up, bro? Get the fuck out of here the next day.
Speaks to the sacrificing of children, even during his time. What the hell, you got 3 little boys been mutilated and cut up and shit, and he supposedly resurrected them. Look at this sick looking shit. So that speaks to child sacrifice. Now let's deal with the Satyrs. The Satyrs are the grandchildren of Saturn, connecting the goat to Saturn. So when we talk about pagan, the Christians always talking about pagan. As you can see, the goat is with SINTERKLAAS, who is a Catholic. Okay? They could never get that damn goat up out of European culture. Pan, which is the root of pagan, is the god of the wild, shepherds and flocks, woods, groves, fields, gods of the heat dwellers. Now, when we talk about Cronus, you can see that he's of the goat. That's why the crown, when you look at the crown on the goat, is the same as the crown on the Statue of Liberty. That's why the satyr is sacred to Saturn. Okay, let me get out of this. And when you talk about heathens, see, this is heath. Heath is a swampy, boggy type land. So a heathen is one who lived in untamed lands such as these. The followers of Pan are called pagans. Okay, let me move on. Definitions of heath: a low, woody, often evergreen plant that grows chiefly on poor, wet soil. So the heathens was ones that lived out in these untamed lands. Okay, you can see right here, Pan with his bisexual, homosexual.
What is this?
And he's chasing a little boy.
Come on now.
Straight up hard. Okay, that's a boy. Showing you that he's pedophilic. Right here, in the Roman, Pan is for newts.
Right?
Okay, and he's always seen playing that damn flute. And we're going to get to the Pied Piper to show you that's just an anthropomorphic story of Fanus and Pan. You also see up at the right.
What that say? Herculaneum? Italy? Herculaneum? Herculaneum? Is that like the root word is Hercules or some shit in that? Italy. Y'all still practicing these out there in Italy? Y'all still practicing that? Y'all still practicing that? Cause I know out there in what's that, India? They be messing with them animals, bro. I seen something on the internet some years ago. I don't like what the hell. It was a bestiality orgy type thing. Niggas had porcupines and all the snakes and like, what?
Fanus copulating with a goat. Bestiality. You see him down in the new movie they call Pan's Gate or whatever it is. And you see him down there with the little boy. Again, showing you the pedophile.
They got a movie with bestiality and people is watching this, spending money on this type of stuff. And I know who's the box sellers, most viewers, white people.
Origins of Pan. The pedophile Pan. Okay, let me keep it moving. So even when you come to this is Father Christmas, and you see the little goat at the bottom, which is a carryover from Thor, who rides the damn night sky on a sled pulled by goats. On a sled, not a sled, a cart pulled by goats. Okay? And so even in what you call Palestine, they had, when the Romans controlled that area, they had temples over there dedicated to Pan. That's still there. They call that, you can go over there right now, it's called the Cave of Pan. If you look to the right, one of those temples, I think of Dionysus, was in front of the cave. They call it the Gate to Hell, to show you that Pan was worshipped even in today, before Jesus, before Yahweh, before any of that. The goat worship was in the amongst the Israelites. My name is Legion, he replied, for we are many. When Jesus supposedly came upon a demon who had thousands of demons inside of this one man. And so Jesus supposedly called the demon and said, what is your name? And he said, my name is Legion, for we are many. So when you're talking about Santa Claus, you're talking about Christmas. These are many demons inside of one.
Another of my favourites at Christmas time, at this time of Yuletide, is carol singing. But my favourite, without a doubt, carol is Stille Nacht, Silent Night. But as a kid in Birmingham and then later on in Lichfield, my little towns, I would go around carol singing with groups of kids, and people were just too happy to give us a few pennies to get rid of us because we sounded awful. You can trace this all the way back to the medieval times, even beyond wassailing, they called it. When groups of folks would go round with a communal bowl of warm cider or ale with spices in it, they would sing to you at your door and you would take a drink of the wassail. And then in return to these folks entertaining you, offering you the wassail, you would actually give them a little bit of food and drink. However, if you failed to ante up with that reward of food and drink, there would be mischief.
Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.